my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. We have Scrappiness is Happiness, the last block, Summer Memories, where we're doing the basket quilt, the royal we, I am, the basket quilt. Remember, I got to show you Susan Aki's, her quilts in person. Oh, they were so amazing. Just motivated me to do this one. So we're gonna talk about that. I have another super cute little project that is, I don't know, you might want to jump in. I had to jump in with both feet. And I have a bunch of other stuff. First, let me just tell you that I did get some gardening done. Several people asked me over the last, month, did I do any of my gardening? And I have done a little. I don't have a huge garden space, just a few pots here and there, but there was an area along my fence in the back that used to have daylilies, and they were spectacular. One thing is, they don't last very long, but at least they were green, had green leaves. But then the neighbor's trees grew up too tall, and they don't get enough sun. And so, like last year and the year before, they were dwindling. Last year was really low, so I knew that needed to be, replaced. I have to get rid of them, and that's a huge process. So it doesn't ever look like much. Where I spent all day digging and then potting and planting some hostas along there. So now that they're full shade, and I love hostas, so I got a lot with the variegated leaves. And I also put my flamingos in the garden, which I showed you a couple months back when we were on a trip. I bought the original pink flamingos. I have a couple. They're now in the garden there. So fun. You have to have fun. So first, let's look at the summer picnic quilt from Summer Memories, the baskets. And I've decided to just go with the flow with how my brain is working on this. Even though I kept wanting to cut, this is a block, one full block is this. It is 4 baskets in one block. And some people were confused because I said I was cutting out 3, and they're like, well, why? Because you have 4 baskets. 4 baskets make one block. So I was trying to cut out 3 whole blocks worth. And honestly, it just isn't working. I finally get one block cut out, and then I want to sew it. I don't want to feel like I have to get organized to have like several of these boards with all the fabric on it. It's like easier for me to just cut one block, sew one block, which is 4 baskets. And so this is my 4th block. I am doing 3 by 4, so that's 12 blocks, and I have 3 done. So I got the sashing. I got a striped sashing, very much like Susan's. And let's see what it looks like. Because at some point, I don't think these two I don't think I want the 2 with my birdsong on the same row, but I can still put the sashing. See, the sashing, it just makes it. And this is a really soft blue. If there's still any of this left, I will link it. I will link it to the line. So it's Brenda Riddle's line. And then there's the cornerstones. Susan did them all in like a red check, but like a pinky red. So I have to see what I have in pinky red for there. And then there's actually sashing around the outside of these blocks too, before you put the border on, right? Yes, so they're all sashing with cornerstones on the outside as well, and at the top. So at one point here, I can actually start, even though I'm sewing blocks, I can actually start sewing rows and things together. I'm not going to wait until I make all 12 blocks before I start sewing, because I will just adjust what the colors are, what fabrics I pick as I go along. Oh, looks so good. So cute, so cute. Okay, so that is my plan there with adjustments, is one block I cut at a time. And so I usually cut it one evening, and then sometimes I'll sew a little bit of it, and then I use it while I'm sewing other things to sew those up. So that's worked. And I actually, the last one I cut up, I was like, yeah, this feels fine, and I like it. I like to work in this mode, cut, sew, cut, sew. I'm just really not a person who cuts a lot of things and then sews. It just is not something that's appealing to me. Okay, the fun thing, do you remember when I showed you the last sew sampler box, which you could buy an individual box because for this anniversary year, every month they're doing an individual boxes, or you have the subscription, and they always do this sampler that comes with it. Well, it's called Pressed Flowers, and apparently you all love this sampler. This block is so darn cute, but you bought all the fabric. It's all gone. So what? So what the Fat Quarter Shop did was a document, a PDF that you can download with about 5 different colorations. They took block 1, put it in different colorations, and then gave you the full supply list so that you could pick a different block. But guess what they did? They did one in my sleepover fabric, and that's the violet. So when you're looking, it'll say violet. It tells you how much fabric you need. And so I, of course, am all in because it is so cute. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for this one made in my sleepover fabric? Look at this. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. So excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's on point setting, which I've not done one of those recently. It's been a little while. I think the camping, Let's Go Camping was on point, which I designed, but I haven't done anybody else's. So I thought, and it's super, super cute. I had a little sneak peek. Shh, can't tell you because it's all a mystery. So for this, I have a few little tips. Just little things while I was making this that I want to share with you. So let's take a look. Have you ever done this? Have you just gotten rid of it and not used it? You can use it as long as it is not bigger than 1/4 of an inch, and this is less than 1/4 of an inch, so that I will just have it in the seam allowance. I just didn't notice it. I cut 2 at a time, and this was on the bottom, and I didn't see I was that close to the edge. But it'll work out, and I didn't have to make a new one. When trimming this 1/4 square triangle, you don't just, put the block down and then just, whack it off on 2 sides. I mean, even if you think, oh, I'll line up this line on the angle, that's not enough. You have to line up this line on the angle, and then you have to line up your corners on each of the corners here. So you have to slide it until everything is perfect. These corners meet at the line. They can't be up or they'll chop it off. They can't be back or you'll chop, you won't have points. You'll have points on 2 sides, but not on the other 2. So it's all about lining this up, and then you trim. And so I know a lot of people will just do like the one line like you would for a 1/2 square triangle, but that just is not enough. And this happens to be a rotating mat. So sweet. Here I will do the other 2. And voila, you've got all the points are right at the edge. Here is that selvage on that one piece, and I will be sewing it right in here, and the seam allowance will be right about there. So it's going to be totally enclosed. Now you can buy just the pattern. You can buy just the pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop. So a link below and at my website today if you want. If you don't want to buy the sampler box, but you want to sew along, you can buy each pattern individually as it comes out, because they're mystery. They're mystery each month. Oh, it turned out so good. Speaking of mystery. Okay, the Liberty box is out. I've been telling you about it over on the Facebook group. And these are mystery box. They are a limited edition. They only make so many. They have fun little goodies in it. Plus they have fabric for a project. And I have looked in the box and the project is darn cute. It's Americana. So just for those of you who might be outside the US, this is a USA type box. Very focused on that. But Liberty box is a must do. Now there is just pre-orders right now, so you can pre-order your box, and then they will have, I guess, some extra. They usually have some extra, and they often go very fast once the pre-order is finished and it's ready to ship. They will have some extras, but you can be sure you get one. I am going to make this. I may have to start making it sooner than the reveal, so that when the reveal comes, maybe I'll have the top done. That would be so good. Everything's so good. So much fun stuff. Speaking of which, I think for June, which I have the June calendar, Where is my stuff here? So I have the June calendar. You can download it. It is 2 pages. So you've got the actual calendar with what's, different things for every day, and then all the fun celebrations. And then this is the project list, and then some of the upcoming things, and just some stuff that I hope to work on, like the horse quilt, which I have, the horse fabric quilt, which I have not worked on at all. So don't ask me about it, but it's on here again. See, I need to loosen up the schedule just a little bit. Then I can fit in things like that. It's just, I think that's coming. That's coming this, maybe after this summer. So you want to download your calendar today. And I put the summer blocks through all this month for the baskets, because I would like to, I think, try to get all those done by the end of the month. That'll be my goal, to get the top done for that guy. I think that's doable, because I've almost got the 4th block done. So there you go. So that makes, that makes it progress. All right, what else? We were going, okay, let's do, it's Mint Julep Day. What's with that? Why is it Mint Julep Day now instead of during the Kentucky Derby? I don't know. That's when I think of mint julep, but maybe because I'm not from the true South. I'm a northern girl, so maybe mint julep in end of May is perfect. So that's what today is. And like when you see the calendar, you'll see I put, there are in June 675 celebrations listed. If you go out there to one of the sites that lists celebrations, I love it. It's so much fun. The ambassadors help me pick. We go through, and then I put them together for the calendar. All right, let's do Scrappiness is Happiness. I need to put it up on the wall, and it's the last block. And I found one to use because I don't want to do the sewing machine. So I flipped it out. Let me take this down and put the quilt up. We are on the last block of Scrappiness is Happiness. This is such a fantastic book. Lori Holt did an amazing job picking out so many fun patterns, different sizes and scales and themes, and then putting them into a full quilt that you could see. Making the quilt, not just a diagram. Such a fantastic job. So this is the sewing machine week, and there we go. The sewing machine, well, you can't really see the block, can you there? There's the block. So, and I decided that for my quilt, that didn't really, the theme, that is a theme, didn't suit me. But I do think it's a cute block because it's super simple. And if you were going to do like a whole, let me see, I'm trying to find the whole quilt with a little bit bigger image. There we go. There we go. Bear with me. Okay. Whoops. So I think like 9 blocks for a sewing room would be so cute, or a little table runner for inside your room, or like above the door. If you do a little row of them and like put it above the door, I think they would be darling. Like, be great for an auction too. Like if you're going to make one for a sewing group to auction. And I thought I would show you my little toy. This is the only toy sewing machine I have. I purchased it, and it's red, everything red. Oh, not all red, but it's red and white, and I thought, this is just perfect. It is so cute. It's in I don't think it's terribly old. I didn't really look up much about it, but I just had to have it because it's so cute. Okay, so what did I decide on? Well, I went looking around, and I thought maybe something more nature inspired would be what to go with. So on the Fat Quarter Shop, I found the maple leaf quilt block, which is part of one of their series that they did called Classic and Vintage Sewing. And so this is a free pattern, and so I will link you below. So if you love to do a maple leaf for yours, or you just want the pattern to do for something else, be a cute table runner. So let's take a look. I've got all the rows up here. I have the horizontal sashing, and I have this part sewn all the way up, and then down here, this is where the block will go, and then there's some fabric above it in the layout, and then it fills in that spot. And I've already got the sashing on here. So I'm looking at the colors, and originally I thought, I would do all yellow, because the one below it is aqua and yellow. So I thought, well, I don't want to do that again. And there's actually a lot of aqua and yellow around, but there's not a lot of white. down in this section. And there's white over here, of course, a big white block there. There's white up on the left. So I think I'm going to do a white leaf for there and do the stripe for the stem. Of course, the stripe. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. Using the stripe, it's not an angled stripe, but the stem is angled in that block. Let me grab the pattern. So you can see the stem is angled. So I need to do my cutting of my stripe in a particular way, or my stripe won't be like I want it. So here's my stripe. Loving this stripe. I'm used almost all of it for this project. It'll be gone, and it's an older line. But that's okay. There'll be another wonderful stripe, won't there? There always is. All right, so the stripe is like this, and I need that horizontal to be down the center of my square when my square is on point. So that means I need to cut my square on point. So it's a 3.5 inch square. So here is the 3.5 inch mark. Now, if you wanted, you could just draw a line if that helps you for cutting, but I am just going to cut a little bit here and a little bit there. So I'm just cutting away, and I'm cutting from, whoops, didn't get all the way out there. I'm cutting from the back side because I can see the ruler markings a little bit better on the back side. All right, and then I am just going to also just release that. Okay, so now what I have is this funky shape, and I need to get it so that I have my 3.5 mark, cutting it like a square is facing me. Okay, so now I've got like the square facing me. Here's the top, this is the angle, and I will just cut off the other two sides. Here we go. So now I have a square that when I do my sew and flip, which is going to be like this. Actually, I need let me get the board so I can show you. If you're unsure, test out on your board. These design boards, you can purchase them. You can stick the pins in them, see? Like this. And so I want to audition, and I want to put, there's my sew and flip for one side of the stem, and then my sew and flip for the other side of the stem. And it will be going horizontal across the stem, because the stem will be angled into that leaf block. So that is what I'll be doing. Let me go finish the block and show it to you. Here you go. Here's the leaf. See how great this is? And then I decided to do this sort of centered block with that polka dot, which just sort of zings out. And I've used that polka dot in a lot of different blocks in here. Okay, so next is, I think you can see it there, whether I angle it in. Oh, you can't see that. Okay, hold on. There's the maple block angled in, so you can see the whole thing, which I think leans in is the way to go. Otherwise, I mean, you could lean it out, which goes that way. So you could lean it out. Yeah, I'm thinking I like in. Let me just, I've got stuff around here. Whoops. Got a fan on the floor. Hold on. My cords. Hold on. Here we go. It's like a booby trap. All right, here's the whole thing. And on my website today, I'll have a picture of it from in here. It's raining right now, so even if I got it all sewn together, I can't take a picture outside. That'll be for the next Scrappiness is Happiness Day later this month. I mean, later in June. But I have 2 days in June that we're still going to have this up to look at. Oh, the white looks good there. It needed more white over there. Okay, I love it. Well, this turned out so cute. I am very happy with the maple leaf. So if you want that, it's a free pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop, so I'll link you to that. And then if you're getting the Sew Sampler box, or maybe you love my sleepover fabric and you've been looking for a project to do, even if you don't have the Sew Sampler boxes, you can just order the single patterns as they come out. They won't come out immediately when the box comes out. It'll be like a week, I think, later or something like that. But you'll be able to still get all these patterns and do it with my sleepover with me. So cute. One a month for that. And then if you are sewing basket blocks with me, oh, so cute. I want to get a couple more done. They're just, And so you sort of get hooked on them after a little bit. It's like, yeah, okay, get in sync with them. And then putting the stripe up there really shows. Okay, and last thing, be sure to order your Liberty box because you're going to want it. You're going to not want to miss out. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.